Lesson 104. In this lesson, we're going to take a break from our normal Spanish studies to examine the infinitive. I think that before you try to learn something in a foreign language, it's good to try to understand that in your own language so that you can have a more thorough understanding of what is being taught. So let's take a moment to talk about infinitives. As you can see here at the top of the page, in English, an infinitive is simply the word to plus a verb. And we have a few examples here. Examples such as to walk, to eat, to run, and to be. So basically, an infinitive is just a verb, but it's not just any old kind of verb. It's a very special verb. It's a verb that has the properties of a noun. A participle is a verb that has the properties of an adjective, but an infinitive is a verb that has the properties of a noun. Let's take a look at a few of these examples here. First we have, I like to sing. Well, as you can see here, the words to and sing are underlined. That is an infinitive, and in this sentence, this infinitive is functioning as the direct object. Now, up to this point, we've seen lots of sentences where the direct object is a noun. For instance, if I say, I like chocolate chip cookies, then in that sentence, the chocolate chip cookies, they are the direct object. Or if I say, I like watermelon, well, in that case, the word watermelon is the direct object. So often, the direct object in a sentence is just a noun. But here, we have an infinitive. Remember, an infinitive has the properties of a noun. So we can use the infinitive in the places that we would ordinarily use a noun. So instead of saying, I like a thing, we can say that we like an infinitive, in this case, to sing. So, I like to sing, and the concept of singing, that's the direct object. That's what is being liked here in this sentence. The next example says, I want to be a teacher. The infinitive, again, as you can see, is underlined, and this time it's a verb of being. But this infinitive is still the direct object because it's the object of the verb want. So, I want to be. To be is an infinitive, which has the properties of a noun, and here it's the direct object in that sentence. Our next example says, to eat a watermelon is sheer delight. Well, in this sentence, the infinitive is to eat, and that particular infinitive is serving as the subject of the sentence. In the first two examples, the infinitive was the direct object. Now it's serving as the subject of the sentence. Next we have, I am unable to finish my homework. Here, the infinitive is to finish, and I believe that this is what you would call a complementary infinitive. First you say you are unable to do something, and then the infinitive sort of works alongside that to complete its meaning. So that's a complementary infinitive. And lastly, I want to play checkers. That's just another example of the infinitive serving as a direct object. So just for practice, we've looked at a few different ways that the infinitive can function within a sentence. It can be the subject, it can be the direct object, or it can be a complementary infinitive. Now we're going to go through these exercises, and as I say here in the text, you need to be careful because there are a few trick questions in here, places where I've tried to make it look like an infinitive, but it's really not. So let's go through these together. And as we do, let's see if we can locate the infinitive in each exercise. In exercise number 1, the infinitive is to wash. That's the direct object of the sentence. I is the subject, like is the verb, and to wash is the direct object. Next we have number 2. Here, the infinitive is to play. And again, it's the direct object. They is the subject, want is the verb, and the infinitive to play serves as the direct object. In number 3, we have a trick question. There really is no infinitive here. I put the word to in an attempt to trick you. To the store is what you would call a prepositional phrase. In this sentence, the word to is a preposition. It's not part of an infinitive at all. So number 3 does not have an infinitive. In number 4, the infinitive is to be. That's the direct object. The subject is Charles, the verb is wants, and the direct object is the infinitive to be. Next we have number 5. The infinitive here is to forgive. That's the subject of the sentence, by the way. To forgive is the subject, is the verb, and divine is a predicate adjective. In number 6, we have another trick question. There's a real infinitive here and then a prepositional phrase that's there to trick you. The real infinitive is to return, and that's the direct object. She is the subject, wants is the verb, and the infinitive to return is serving as the direct object. Then at the end of the sentence, we have the prepositional phrase to the store, which is there to confuse you. But I'm sure you didn't fall for that one. In number 7, the infinitive is to play. And again, that's the direct object. In number 8, we have yet another trick question. There is no infinitive here, just the prepositional phrase to the party. So in that situation, the word to is a preposition, not part of an infinitive. Number 9 is another tricky one. We have a prepositional phrase to the furniture store. In that situation, the word to is simply a preposition, but then later in the sentence we have to buy. And that really is a genuine infinitive there, to buy. And finally, in number 10, there is no infinitive here, just the prepositional phrase to Jeremy. Here, the word to is simply a preposition.